what happened right after we described the first hat was they started accusingly pointing at each other, finding out who was the one who just started all the monstrosities. And they all pointed to this man right here. And what's your hand?
I'm Mr. Bill.
What was it?
Mr. Bill.
I know Mr. Bill. That's Mr. Bill. Oh, yeah. Man, so how did the whole thing start?
So I saw JRWR's Hat Chan, which is the pith helmet with LEDs on it. And one day I was just sitting at my desk and I had an old hard hat that my son had left behind. And I had a Raspberry Pi screen. It was one of those little 3.5-inch screens. And I was like, hey, this would look really cool on the front of a hard hat. What can I do with it? And the idea kind of grew from that. And so then I built a hard hat that ran Kismet Wireless, had a much bigger screen. Everything was on the outside. And I've run that for a couple of years. And 2 years ago, we had an unofficial contest for hard hats. The hard hat or the homebrew hardware hacking contest folks allowed us to share some stage space. And we had quite a few entries and, kind of grew out of that.
Have you ever published any of the information that has come from your hard hat? Like online, just how many access points, how many connections?
Well, so as far as the Wi-Fi goes, not every hard hat does Wi-Fi. If you go to our Twitter account, Hard Hat Brigade, you'll see the entries from 2 years ago. We had two categories. One was bling, which is anything flashy, right? And then the other category was wares, which is it had to have some sort of functionality. Some of the hats were really artistic. We had like a paper horse with hand-pulled fiber optic. We had a hard hat that was, another fiber optic hard hat that was painted, lots of lights and bling. And then the hard hat that we chose as the overall winner was Shelly, which was made by Straith, which was an RC car with, of course, it was bedazzled and had LEDs all over it. And if I remember correctly, it was sniffing Bluetooth and also the Logitech keyboard keystrokes, basically. And so that was the right combination of both categories.
Oh, that's so cool. So how many years has it been going on total?
So I've had my original hat for, I think this would be my fourth year. Like I said, in 2019, we ran an unofficial DEF CON contest just for fun. We had 16 entries. So, it's been a couple years and it's kind of growing in interest because hard hats are cheap. There's a lot of fun things you can do with them, and it's a great conversation piece.
So out of all the ones that you've seen up to this point, can you tell me like maybe your top 3 ones that come to mind as just something innovative, something that isn't just like blinky LEDs, but something that like goes beyond what you would expect in a hard hat system?
That's really difficult to say because one of the reasons why we kind of started Hard Hat Brigade was to encourage other people to build things and try things out. And, actually one of the most moving stories was one of the contestants from 2019 told us that he had not touched a soldering iron in 20 years. And this encouraged him to actually start building things again. And I mean, I'm getting the chills thinking about it. That's the type of thing that, Hard Hat Brigade's about. It's not about the best. Obviously with the contest we had to decide, but each hat is unique and everybody has a story and it's, it's always a journey. So yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah, that's what we love about DEF CON. That's what we absolutely love about DEF CON is both like challenging for the people who have been doing it for a long time, but just like inviting the community just to participate and just find joy in just the most ridiculous, obnoxious ways. Like this is awesome. Like looking around the table, you see, and I'll put some B-roll in so you guys can see it. Just so many cool hard hats that they've thrown together with all this cool functionality. With that, man, like thank you so much for the work you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, check it out on Twitter, and we will see you later.